Oh, Lordy, it's cold out here. I have that heater on. I have that heater on. And I'm fixing to turn this heater on. It was 28 last night. And the sun is on this building, so between the heaters and the sun being on the building, 20 minutes it should be warm enough to take my jacket off and my hat off, because under here is a shiny bald head that gets cold quickly. Alrighty, let me turn this around. Today I'm going to be sanding this and buffing it and getting it in the forge and the tempering oven. So tomorrow I will get it cleaned up and buffed and put the handles on, get the handles epoxied on. So, you know what, let me see if this will actually, I don't think it will. This is dyed redwood. Nope, not quite, not quite. No, not at all, as a matter of fact. Okay, so this is redwood, and that will fit. And this is redwood, and that is redwood with some eyes in it, and it's very curly. That's going to be pretty. But it's not redwood lace, it is redwood burl. And this is, it's got a little bit of lace, but it's mostly redwood burl. And this is Carillion birch. Let me make sure that's going to fit on that. Oh yeah. Okay, that's Carillion birch from the Caucasus Mountains of Russia. So if you would like this knife, besides that one, not that one, let me know and you can pick your wood. I do have one at the house that hasn't been sold yet, and it has got the Turkish walnut on it, polished with a really nice sheath. So anyway, let me get some sandpaper out, get my gloves on, and by the time I get ready to start sanding, it'll be warmed up in here and I can take my jacket off and get to work. Well, it's warm enough to take my jacket off, and as I took my jacket off, all of them fell out of the pocket. I don't know how those got there. My God, I guess I'll have to eat them. Alrighty, here we go. And get to work. Dog cam. Did I ever tell you that I had a PhD? I think I've withheld that information from most people. As long as you understand that PhD stands for post-hole digger. I don't usually put pictures up of any of my family, but this is so uncanny, I thought I would put it up. So my sister put a picture of her and her daughter up, and my comment to my sister was, "My God, you gave birth to yourself." They look so similar. I mean, younger and older, but definitely you could pick her out in a crowd of 1,000 that would be her daughter. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of uncanny that they look so much alike. Okay, back to sanding. I'm just taking a little dog petting break and a butterscotch break. All right, it's almost to a temperature where you won't die from freezing to death. It was probably about 50 or so, 45 or 50 out here this morning, which, you know, that's deadly to somebody in Texas. Alrighty, I'm fixing to go to 220. 220 is my next grit. We're making great progress. I will have this in the forge being heat treated and in the tempering oven probably within an hour and a half. See you in a bit. Alright, I thought I'd talk a little bit while I'm sanding. I'm at 320. And what I wanted to talk about was I'm a member of about 4 prepper forums on Facebook. And there's been lots and lots of talk lately about precious metals. And you have only two distinct trains of thought. You have those that think precious metals are just one additional prep like you would have food or fire extinguisher or insurance. Uh, and I'm on that team. And I gotta admit, most of my precious metals are chrome lined, if you know what I mean. But I got a little bit of silver, just a little bit. And I bought it and hung on to it because let's just say that we have a financial collapse, an economy collapse, and nobody's taking dollars anymore. Well, I mean, I believe that in the meantime, something will happen where the government's not going to lose control of everybody's money, but it may take a little while to regain some sort of way of using government-backed dollars, So I think silver and gold is just a wise thing to have. You just don't know. And it's no different than any other prep. Well, okay. On the other hand, you have these people, they're not content to let you think that gold and silver is just a wise option and one more prep that just makes sense. So most people, if you don't like ketchup, or if you like ketchup and they don't try to convince you not to buy ketchup because they don't like it. They don't give a crap you're buying ketchup. But when it comes to precious metals, man, you have these people, if they're not on board with precious metals makes just a common sense, they're not content to just let you buy precious metals. They are insulting and they're angry and it's always the same thing. Well, you can't buy food you can't eat gold and silver, stuff like that. And it's the same ridiculous argument. And you can't have a conversation with these people because they're angry that you're on maybe not buying gold and silver, but you believe it's a wise choice to buy a little bit of gold and silver if you can afford gold. And I've got some silver that I've had for years and years and years. I bought it cheap and I've just hung on to it. And not much. And I just think about all the people that I've read in the comments getting angrier and angrier and angrier at people who are buying precious metals and saying, look, if you don't want to buy precious metals, don't buy them. Why are you hassling me? Because I think precious metals are a wise thing to do. And, and then you have the people that, once the argument gets out of hand, you have those that say, well, I've got lead, and I'll be able to take your gold and silver. And my reply is always, and you think that people have gotten to the point in life where they can afford gold and silver, don't already have the other things that you're claiming to have that will allow you to take it? It's I've never seen on any other subject. I'm sorry, I may have to stop and get some water. All right, fixing to go buff it and then into the heat treating forge. Another word I would use to describe what has happened on the internet is accountability. There's no accountability for people being jerks on the internet, just like there's no accountability for people being jerks when they get in their car. They could be a nice person 99% of the day, and the second their hands get on that steering wheel and that door is locked and they've got a protective wall of glass between you and the things they do to you, it's accountability. And that's a good word to remember when you're on the internet. Behave as though somebody can come punch you in your nose. All right, let's go buff. You want to go home or you want to wait here for me to buff? I'll put you on the floor and see what you do. All right, I have done the preliminary buffing. Now, I don't usually buff to this degree. I just buff to be sure I've got the big scratches out, and I do. So now I heat treat it and temper it. And then I start at 400 and I sand off all the forge heat treating schmutz. And I go up to 800 and then I buff it all over again. And that's when I really get serious buffing it. Okay. Into the forge you go. All right, there is $117 worth of steel. One piece of steel, 117 bucks.